My dear Lucy, I wrote this story for you, but when I began it, I had not realized that girls grow quicker than books. As a result, you are already too old for fairy tales, and by the time it is printed and bound, you will be older still. Someday you will be old enough to start reading fairy tales again. You can take it down from some upper shelf, dust it, and tell me what you think of it. I shall probably be too deaf to hear and too old to understand the words you say, but I shall still be your affectionate godfather, C.S. Lewis.
Our play begins in an old estate during World War II. While the air raids were happening in London, many children were evacuated to the remote countryside. The Pevensey children, Peter, Susan, Edmund, and Lucy, have been sent to stay at the home of the old professor.
During many rainy days, the children had nothing to do but find ways to pass time indoors. They explored every nook and cranny of the creaky old home.
I know, let's play hide and seek.
During the game, Lucy made what normally considered an unwise decision.
She chose to hide in an old wardrobe full of fur coats and mothballs.
She pushed as far back into the wardrobe as she could, squirming her way through the old coats. Suddenly she found that she was not in a wardrobe at all.
What a strange place! I imagined I could find my way home. Why there's a lamppost in the middle of the wood?
Goodness gracious me!
Good evening.
Good evening. Excuse me, are you a daughter of Eve?
My name is Lucy.
Forgive me, are you a girl?
Of course I'm a girl.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Mr. Tumnus. I've never met a daughter of Eve before. How did you get into Narnia?
I'm pleased to meet you, Mr. Tumnus, but what is Narnia?
Why? All of this is Narnia.
To answer your question, I got you through a wardrobe.
Oh, I see. My geography is not that good. I say, would you like to come to my cave for tea? I'll be having sardines, hot tea, toast, and cake. It'll be wonderfully warm in there.
I'm not sure. I suppose others are beginning to worry about me.
It's just around the corner.
Okay, but I can't stay long.
So Lucy and Mr. Tumnus head to escape. There they have a delightful tea. Mr. Tumnus tells Lucy all about Narnia, and then he begins to play his flute. Lucy starts to become drowsy.
Dear me, I must have dozed off. I must be going. What is wrong, Mr. Tumnus? Are you ill?
I'm such a terrible fawn.
What do you mean?
I'm in pain of the White Witch.
Who's the White Witch?
She is the one who has all of Narnia under her thumb. It is she who makes it always winter but never Christmas. It is she who has made us turn over any humans who have come into Narnia.
But you must let me go.
Of course I will. Can you ever forgive me?
Of course.
Hey, keep your handkerchief.
Lucy hurriedly finds her way back to the lamppost. And through the wardrobe. I'm back! I'm here! I'm alright!
Lucy finds the other children and explains to them all about
The wardrobe is gone and the White Witch.
Poorly, you were
They
hiding
all-
and no one knows.
But I've been gone for hours and hours.
Batty, quite batty.
Don't be silly, Lucy. We've only been out of the room for a few minutes. If you don't believe me, come and see for yourself. She leads them to the wardrobe, but to her dismay, it's just a wardrobe. The other children laugh at her.
For the next few days, Lucy's dismayed. Edmund takes great delight in teasing her about the wardrobe.
Lou, I wondered if you might fetch me a croissant, mademoiselle. If you look carefully, the pair should be just behind the third fur coat to the left.
Stuff it, Ed!
On yet another rainy day, the children once again play hide and seek. Lucy enters the wardrobe.
Edmund decides to follow Lucy into the wardrobe, hoping he'll have another opportunity to tease her.
Lucy! Lucy! I'm sorry I didn't believe you. Do come out. Just like a girl, sulking somewhere and won't accept an apology.
As Edmund observes Narnia, a large great sleigh arrives, carrying a great tall lady.
And what, pray tell, are you?
My name is Edmund.
Is that how you know?
I beg your pardon. I didn't know.
I don't know the Queen of Narnia. But what are...
Please, Your Majesty. I don't know what you mean. What are you?
Are you a great overgrown dwarf that has come up with a beard?
No, Your Majesty. I never had a beard. I'm a boy.
A boy? Do you mean to say you're son of Adam? I see you're an idiot. What else do you mean? Answer me once and for all, or I shall lose my patience. Are you a human? I've heard of such things. This may recall, but he's only 1 8 from now. My poor child, how cold you look. Would you like something hot to drink?
Yes, please, Your Majesty.
It's rather boring to drink without something to eat. What best would you like?
Turkish delight, please, Your Majesty.
The queen begins to question Edmund about himself and his family. He tells her that he has 1 brother and 2 sisters, and that 1 sister had already been in Narnia and had met a fawn.
She seemed very interested to hear that he had 1 brother and 2 sisters. And then, at last, all the Turkish delight is eaten.
Son of Adam, I'd very much like to meet your brother and sister. Will you bring them?
I'll try.
Because if you did come again, bringing them to my house, I'd be able to give you some more Turkish delight.
Why can't we go to your house now?
It's a lovely place. I'm sure you'd like it. There are a whole room full of Turkish delight. And what's more, I've no children of my own. I want to
The White Witch flatters Edmund, telling him that he is the cleverest and handsomest young man she has ever met. She tells him she would like to make a prince someday when he brings the others to visit her.
Why not now?
Oh, but if I took you there now, I should meet your brother and sister. I very much like to know your charming relations. If it be prince and later king, I'd make your brother a duke and your sister duchess.
There's nothing special about them, and anyway, I could always bring them some other time.
Ah, but once you're in my house, you enjoy yourself so much you wouldn't bother affection for me. No, you go back to your own country now and come to me another time.
But I don't even know the way back to my own country.
That's easy. See that lamppost? Straight on beyond that is the royal plan. And see look the other way, see those 2 hills?
I think so.
My house is between those 2 little hills. So next time, all you've got to do is go through the wardrobe, find the lamppost, and walk through the forest to my house. But with them, you understand, I might have to be very angry with you if you come alone.
I'll do my best.
Oh, and one more thing. You needn't tell them about me. It'd be fun to keep this our little secret. If your sister's been in Narnia and met one of my fawns, she might have heard strange stories about me. Nasty stories that might make her afraid to come. Fawns are saying.
Please, may I have 1 more piece of Turkish delight to on my way back home?
No. You must wait until next time. Next time. Don't forget. Come soon.
Edmund eventually finds his way back to the lamppost. There, he runs into Lucy.
Oh, Edmund, so you got in after all. Isn't it wonderful?
All right, I see we're right, and it is a magic word. But where on earth have you been? I've been looking for you everywhere.
I was having lunch with dear Mr. Tunnhouse. He's doing quite well, and the dreadful White Witch has done nothing for letting me go.
The White Witch? Who's she?
She's a perfectly horrible person. She calls herself the Queen of Narnia. She can turn people into stone. She makes it always winter, but never Christmas.
Who told you all that stuff?
Mr. Tunnhouse, the fawn.
Well, you can't believe everything Fawn said. Let's go.
I say, Edmund, you look awful. Are you ill?
I'm all right.
Well, I'm so glad you got in. Let's go to the others. We're leaving now.
Unfortunately, Edmund denies everything Lucy has said about Narnia. He tells the others,
It's all bullocks. Lucy and I have simply been playing a game is all.
Edmund!
Later, Peter and Susan go to see the professor. They are concerned Lucy's going batty. After talking with them, the professor laments.
Don't they teach logic in these schools?
After a long conversation, Peter and Susan come to realize that perhaps Lucy is telling the truth.
Now, there's something else you should know about the professor's house. It was quite old and quite historical.
That meant the house was often open to tourists. Mrs. McCready, the housekeeper, had told the children to always disappear when tourists were about. And please remember you're to keep out of the way whenever I'm taking a party over the house.
One particular day, the children get trapped by tourists in the hallway and run into a spare room. One particular spare room with a certain wardrobe. Mrs. McCready and the tourists sound like they're coming into the room.
Quick, the wardrobe! I'm sorry, Lucy. Will you forgive me?
Aren't you, Lucy, friends? Yes, of course. Now let's go to Mr. Thomas's house.
the children go to Mr.
Mr. Thomas's house. There they find the house in shambles and a note from the chief of police, Fenris Holt.
Mr. Tumnus has been arrested for patronizing the human. Oh, this is horrible. I'm the human. Mr. Tumnus has been arrested on account of me. We must save him.
Lucy explains all about the White Witch to the others. Edmund is strangely quiet. They decide to find Mr. Tumnus.
A robin appears to show them the way when they see something moving about in the bushes.
Do you see that?
Yes, what is it?
Beaver, I think he wants us to follow it.
After some discussion, the children decide to follow the beaver. Finally, it speaks to them.
Are you the sons of Hudson and Dolphus? We're some of them.
How do we know you're a friend? For all we know, you might harm us.
Quite so. He is a token.
That's mine. I gave it to Mr. Tumnus. Oh, poor Mr. Tumnus.
That's right. When you call Twin if it's arrest, he asked me to find you and give it to you. They say Alvin is on you.
Now, a very curious thing happened. None of the children knew Aslan, but at his name, each one felt something different.
Peter suddenly felt brave and adventurous.
Susan felt as if some delicious smell or delightful strain of music had just floated by. Lucy got the feeling like you have on the first morning you wake up and realize it's summer.
But
Edmund felt a sensation of mysterious horror.
the beaver led the children to his home on a frozen lake where Mrs. Beaver had prepared dinner for them all.
Well, I found them. Here they are, Mrs. Beaver.
Wonderful, wonderful. Do sit down. The potatoes are boiling, the kettle is singing, and Mr. Beaver, you caught us some fine fish.
The children sit down to a delightful meal. Afterwards, the children ask about Mr. Tumnus. Mr. Beaver is certain he's in the Queen's castle and in a bad state.
The children immediately ask how they can rescue Mr. Tumnus.
Only Aslan can help.
Who's Aslan?
Aslan, don't you know? Oh, he's the king of Narnia. He's the lord of the whole wood. He's in Narnia at this moment, and he'll settle the White Witch all right.
Won't she turn him into stone?
Oh, Lord, gorgeous son of Adam, what a simple thing to say, turn him into stone. If she can stand on her own 2 feet and look him in the face, it'll be the most that she can do. No, as the ancient poem says, I'll be made white when Aslan comes into sight.
But shall we see him?
Of course he will. That's why I'm here. I'm to lead you to.
Is he a man?
Aslan the man, certainly not. Aslan is the king of Narnia. Aslan is a lion. The lion. The great lion.
Is he safe? I feel nervous about being a lion.
Who said that? You can't say it. He's the king, I tell you.
If there's anyone who can appear before Aslan, Aslan will have their knees down either, and the brave group of us are just silly. When shall we meet him?
Tomorrow at the stone table.
Mr. Beaver also tells the children about the prophecy. When the 4 thrones at Cair Paravel are filled, then evil time will be done.
Wrong will be right when Aslan comes in sight. At the sound of his roar, sorrows will be no more. When he bares his teeth, winter meets its death, and when he shakes his mane, we shall have spring again.
During this time, no one realizes that Edmund has slipped out of the house.
I say, where's Edmund?
The children rush out calling Edmund's name.
Edmund! Oh, hug my woods, he's gone to her. I could tell the moment I met him. Treacherous!
If he has gone to her, we must pack up at once and leave. Our only hope is to get to Aslan.
The beavers and the children quickly pack some food and other supplies. Mrs. Beaver is most upset she could not take her sewing machine as she could not abide the thought of the White Witch fiddling with it, but alas, it is also left behind.
Meanwhile, Edmund is trying to find his way to the Queen's castle. As he walks, he wonders about all the things he'll do as King of Narnia.
Bow before me, Sir Peter.
Finally, he reaches the dark and foreboding castle of the Queen. He enters the courtyard and sees
Don't stand.
If you please, sir, my name is Edmund, and I'm the son of Adam that Her Majesty met in the wood the other day. I've come to bring you the news that my brother and sisters are in Narnia. She wanted to see them.
I will tell Her Majesty. Meanwhile, stand here and wait if you value your life. Come in, fortunate favor of the Queen, or else not so fortunate.
I'm coming, Majesty. How dare you come come alone. Did I not tell you to bring the others with you?
Please, Your Majesty, I've done the best I can. I've brought them quite close. They're in a little house on top of the dam just up the river with Mr. and Mrs. Beaver.
Is this all you knew?
No, Your Majesty.
Edmund tells the White Witch all that he has heard at the Beaver's house.
Aslan, is this true? If I find you've lied to me.
Please, I'm only repeating what they said.
Prepare the sleigh and use the harness without bells.
Meanwhile, the children and the beavers are making their way to the stone table. It is hard going.
When night falls, the children and beavers sleep in a snug hollow.
The next morning, the children and the beavers are surprised to meet
Father Christmas!
I've come out last. She has kept me out for a long time. Aslan is on the move. The witch's magic is weakening.
This is a definite sign Aslan was in Narnia. It is still winter, but with Christmas, Father Christmas gives each one gifts.
To Peter, he gives a shield and a sword. The shield has a red rampant lion on it.
Peter, Adam's son, these are your presents. They are tools, not toys, and the time instance perhaps in your hand. Bear them well.
To Susan, he gives a bow, a quiver of arrows, and a small horn.
Susan, his daughter, these are your gifts. The bow does not easily miss. It does not easily miss. It is to defend yourself only in great use, but I do not envy the fight in the battle. And when you put the horn to your lips, I think wherever you are is some kind of help to come to you.
To Lucy, he gives a bottle of healing cordial and a small dagger.
Lucy, Eve's daughter, in this cordial lies the juice from the fireflowers that grow on the hills. If you or any one of your friends are hurt, a few drops of this will cure them. The dagger is to protect yourself from lightning, but I do not think you can fight it.
To Mrs. Beaver, he gives a new sewing machine which she has left in her house. To Mr. Beaver, he promises repairs on his dam have been made.
And now there's something wrong.
and he brings out a large tray with cups, saucers, sugar, cream, and a great big teapot, all sizzling and piping hot.
Merry Christmas, long live the true king.
After tea, the beavers and the children continue on their way. While his brother and sisters are receiving gifts, all is not well with Edward.
Please, Your Majesty, may I have some more Turkish delight? You said...
Silence, you fool. He had not do without the rat fainting on the way. Bring the healing creatures. Turkish delight for the little prince, Papa.
Take it away. I don't want dry bread.
You may be glad of it before you taste bread again.
The dwarf returns and tells the queen that the sleigh is ready. The queen calls for Fenris Ulf.
Fenris Ulf. Take with you the swiftest of your wolves and hide straight away to the house of Beaver. Kill whatever you find there. If they've already gone, make all haste to the stone table. Do not be seen. Wait for me there at hiding. You may overtake these humans before they reach the stone table. You'll know what to do if you find them.
I hear and obey, O Queen.
Of course, the wolves do not find anyone at the beaver's house. Edmund and the White Witch sleep in her sleigh. It snows and soon he is wet and cold and miserable.
Edmund begins to realize the queen has no intention of keeping her promise.
They race on. Suddenly, Edmund notices that the snow is melting.
And he's feeling less cold.
And then he sees crocuses.
And suddenly the sleigh stops. It is bogged down in the mud.
Is no good, Your Majesty. We can't continue in this thaw. Then we must walk. We can't overtake them by walking, not with the start they've got. I'm your advisor or my slave. Do as you're told. Tie the hands of the human behind it and keep hold of the other end, and take your weapon. Onward, faster, faster.
All around them, signs of spring are everywhere.
Faster, faster. This is dog. This is spring. What shall we do? Your winter has been destroyed, I tell you. This is Aslan's doing. If either of you mention that name again, you shall be instantly killed.
The children and the beavers are continuing on their way to the stone table. They too are noticing signs of spring.
Finally, they reach the hill and see a beautiful pavilion and hear delightful music. Turning to their right, they see what they had come to see.
Aslan is sitting in the center of the creatures. They catch a glimpse of his golden mane and his great, royal, solemn, overwhelming eyes, and they find that they can barely look at him.
No, you first. No, sons have had some before, animals. What about you, Susan? Ladies first.
No, you're the eldest.
Come on, pull yourselves together. We have come, my son.
Welcome, Peter, the son of Adam. Welcome, Susan and Lucy, daughters of Eve. Welcome, Hebe, and Shebe. But where's the fourth?
He has tried to betray us and joined the White Witch. It was partly my fault, Aslan. I was angry with him, and I think that helped him go wrong.
Please, Aslan, can I be done to St. Edmund?
All shall be done, but it may be harder than you think. Meanwhile, let the feast be prepared.
As the feast is prepared, Aslan pulls Peter aside.
Come, son of Adam, and I will show you a far-off sight in the castle where you are to be king. That is Caracaravelle with the 4 thrones, one of which you will sit as king. I show this to you because you are firstborn and will be high king over the rest.
Suddenly, a horn breaks into the silence.
It is your sister's horn. Come!
Peter and Aslan dash over to the building. There is a gray wolf trying to attack Peter.
You forgot to clean your sword. Hand it to me and kneel, son of Adam. Rise, Sir Peter, Fenris Bane, and whatever happens, never forget to clean your sword.
Now back to Edward. He has more further than ever in his life, and he sinks to the ground when the White Witch stops. He does not care how hungry or thirsty he is. The witch in the dwarf top close by.
It is no good, your majesty. They must have reached this stone table by now. Perhaps the wolf will smell us out and bring us news. It will not be good news if he does. 4 thrones at Caracaravelle. I was only 3 or so. That would not fulfill the prophecy. What difference would it make now that he is here? He may not stay long, and then we would fall upon the 3 at Caracaravelle. Yet it might be better to keep this one for bargaining with. Yes, and if I'm rescued, then we'd better do what we have to do at once. I would like to have it done at the stone table itself. That is the proper place. That is where it's always been done before. It will be a long time now before the stone table can be put to its proper use. True. Well, I'll begin.
I've seen them. They are at the stone table with him. They have killed my captain, Fenris. I was hidden in the thickets and saw it all. One of the sons of Adam killed him. Fly, fly.
No! There's no need to be flying. Go quickly and summon all of our people to meet here as speedily as we can. Call the giants, the werewolves, and the spirits of the trees that are on our side. Call the ghouls, the goblins, the ogres, and the minotaurs. Call the fools, the hag, the specters, and the people of the toadstool. We'll fight. What? Have I not my wand? Will not the ranks return to them as soon as everything comes? We have quickly, sir. The little things to make sure why we call. Now, let me see. We have no table. We'd better put it against the trunk of a tree. Prepare the victim! Bring in my gun. Give me something to drink.
Give him something to eat.
Who's got the witch? Don't you have her? No, I knocked a knife out of her hand.
I don't have her.
Give him some space.
Bring him to Aslan.
Quick, pick him up!
Here's your brother.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Sorry, there is a messenger from the enemy who prays the audience.
Let him approach. What is your message, son of Earth?
The Queen of Narnia desires safe conduct to come and speak with you in a matter that is just as important as to you as to him.
Oh, Queen of Narnia, indeed!
Peace, Beaver. All names will soon be restored to their proper owners. Tell your mistress, son of Earth, that I grant her safe conduct on condition that she leaves her wand at the Great Oak.
A few minutes later, the witch herself walks out to the top of the hill and stands before Aslan. The 3 children who had not yet seen her feel shudders running down their backs at the sight of her face.
Though it is sunny, everyone feels suddenly cold. Mrs. Beaver notes that the White Witch cannot look Aslan directly in his eyes.
You have a traitor among you, Aslan.
His offense was not against you.
Have you forgotten the deep magic?
Let us say you have forgotten it. Tell us of this deep magic.
Tell you is written on the very stone table that lies before us. It was engraved on the scepter beyond the sea. You at least know the magic Emperor put into Narnia. You know that every traitor belongs to me as lawful prey, and that for every treacher I have the right to kill.
The witch claims the human creature is hers. She says his life is forfeit to her and that his blood is her property. She tells Aslan that he knows the deep magic better than her. That he knows that unless she has blood,
All of Narnia will be overturned and perish in fire and water.
It is very true. I do not.
Oh, Aslan, can't we? Won't you? Will you? Can you do something about the deep magic? Isn't there something you can work against it?
Work against the Emperor's magic? Fall back, all of you, and I will talk to the witch alone. You can all come back. I have settled the matter. It is renounced the claim on your brother's blood.
But how do I know you're coming from the cat?
Aslan directs everyone to the forts of Verona. Along the way, he instructs Peter how to prepare for the battle.
Peter is concerned when Aslan cannot assure him of his presence. Aslan also appears to be very distracted. After a quiet meal, everyone settles down to sleep.
Can't you get to sleep either? No, I thought you were asleep. I say, Susan. What? I have the most horrible feeling as if something were hanging over us. Have you? Because as a matter of fact, so have I. Something about Aslan. Either something dreadful is going to happen to him, or something dreadful that he's going to do. There's been something wrong with him all afternoon. Lucy, what was that he said about not being with us at the battle? You don't think he could be stealing away and leaving us tonight, do you? Where is he now? Where is he now? Is he here in the pavilion? I don't think so. Susan, let's go outside and have a look around. We might see him. All right, let's. We might just as well be doing that as lying awake here.
The girls see Aslan as he is walking into the wood. Suddenly, they follow him. His tail and head are hanging low, and he is walking slowly as if he were very, very tired.
Oh, children, why are you falling?
We couldn't sleep. Please, may we come with you? Wherever are you going?
Well, I should be glad of company tonight. Yes, you may come, as long as you promise to stop when I tell you, and after that you must leave me to go in.
Oh, thank you, and we will.
The girls walk alongside him. Presently he stumbles into the low moan.
Aslan, dear Aslan, what is wrong? Can't you tell us? Are you ill, dear Aslan?
No, I am sad and lonely. Lay your hands on my mane so I know that you are there. Let us walk like that.
they did so, and he led them toward the stone table.
Oh, children, here you must stop. And whatever happens, do not let yourselves be asleep. Farewell.
The fool is turned by me.
The awful assembly begins to jeer and taunt Aslan.
Oh, how can they? The brutes!
They drag Aslan to the table and bind him to it.
The cowards! Are they so afraid of him even now?
Silence falls over the crowd. The witch draws her stone knife.
And now, who is one? Fool, did you think that by all of this you would save the human traitor? Now I'll kill you instead of him, as our pact was, and so the deep magic will be appeased. But when you are dead, what will prevent you from killing him as well? You understand you have given me Narnia forever. You have lost your own life, and you have not saved his. And that knowledge is spare and enough. Now, follow me and we'll set about what remains of this war. It will not take us long to crush the human vermin and the traitors out of the great fool, the great Catholics of death.
Yes, it is more magic.
Oh, Aslan! What you guys do, Aslan?
I was, but I am White Witch knew of the deep magic, there is magic deeper still that she did not know. Her knowledge goes back only to the dawn of time, but if she could have looked a little further back, until the stillness and darkness before time dawned, she would have read a different incantation. She would have known that when a willing victim who has committed no treachery was killed in a traitor's place, the table would crack and death itself would start working backwards. And now...
Oh, yes, now?
I feel a roar coming on. Better put your fingers in your ears. To the witch's hole!
The girls riding on Aslan's back swiftly reached the witch's house. In one bounding leap, Aslan cleared the wall. The girls running straight sight. Statues of very old people are dotted all over the castle and courtyard.
What an extraordinary place. All these sort of animals and people, too. Hush, Aslan is doing something. Aslan, come quick! I found Mr. Tumnus!
Aslan, the girls, and Mr. Tumnus, and all the now living creatures quickly leave and head for the battle with the White Witch. Upon arriving, they see a horrible sight. Statues are dotted all over the battlefield, and Peter is fighting the White Witch. Aslan lets out a huge roar. The White Witch looks at him with an expression of surprise and horror.
After a struggle, Aslan defeats the witch. The remainder of her army flees, and they see she is defeated. Peter's tired army cheers and shouts.
Hooray! The witch is defeated!
After everyone has quieted down, there is some sad news from Peter.
We would have lost if not for Edmund. The witch was turning people to stone right and left. He knocked the wand out of her head. It was terrible. We must go see it.
Wait, Lucy.
Later that evening, Aslan solemnly crowns Peter, Susan, Edmund, and Lucy, kings and queens of Narnia.
Long live King Peter! Long live Queen Susan! Long live King Edmund! Long live Queen Lucy!
Taken drones, you find out the Edmund the Just, and Lucy as Lucy the Valiant.
One day the four are in pursuit of the white stag. She's gone to the thicket, so the royal party pursues on foot. While in the thicket, they encounter strange yet familiar sights.
I say, that's a strange device. It looks like a tree with some sort of a light on top of it.
Seems as if I've seen it before a long time ago.
I too.
Perhaps is it true that I cannot be seen the white flag any further?
My dear sister, ever since we've been kings and queens of Narnia, we've never turned away from anything we started without anything hindering us.
My brother is right. Let us continue on.
The children go beyond the lamppost. And suddenly come tumbling out of the wardrobe.
They are no longer adults, nor kings or queens, but rather it is the same day and the same hour in which they had gone to hide in the wardrobe.
The professor later tells the children that they would never go back to Narnia through the wardrobe.
But one day may return. How or when remains to be seen.
If you're curious about the other Narnian adventures, you'll just have to read the other Chronicles of Narnia.
Thank you for attending our play!